Trump posted the terms of the Iran deal on Truth Social at 10:51 in the morning. By noon, Iran's foreign minister was on record saying a final agreement is not imminent. By afternoon, Iranian state media was calling Trump's announcement a reflection of his wishes, not reality. And the mainstream media spent the rest of the day calling this a chaotic, failing negotiation. But here's why that framing is completely backwards. So here's what Trump actually posted. Iran must never build a nuclear weapon. The Strait of Hormuz opens immediately. No tolls. Unrestricted traffic in both directions. All water mines get removed or detonated. The enriched uranium, which Trump described as nuclear dust, buried under a collapsed mountain from the B-2 strikes 11 months ago, gets excavated by the United States and China together, working alongside Tehran and the IAEA, and destroyed. No money changes hands, at least for now. Other items are described as agreed to, but of far less importance, and Trump signed off by saying he was heading to the Situation Room to make a final determination. Now look at Tehran's response. State media says the announcement reflects his wishes and not reality. The foreign minister says no deal is imminent. And an Iranian official says that Trump is, as usual, distorting the realities of the region. Let's see how that goes. Iran's parliament speaker says the winner of any agreement is whoever is better prepared for war the day after signing. In that case, should be the United States, to be fair. So the mainstream press files this as negotiations are collapsing. Trump has been embarrassed. Both sides are talking past each other. But here's the tale they are all missing. The media is treating basic diplomatic posturing as a total collapse. What the press is doing is treating diplomatic theater as diplomatic failure, which is not. Because they cannot tell the difference between a side that says no and a side that is still sitting at the table, and Iran is still sitting at the table. So let's connect the dots here. First up, there's an actual piece of paper. Reporting during the same week, 2 American officials described a deal that includes the removal of approximately 440 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium from Iranian territory. A senior Iranian official described, through a separate news outlet, a deal that includes no such commitment. Both versions are described as appearing in the exact same memorandum of understanding. So, yeah, I was confused as well. Both sides are holding the same piece of paper and reading it differently, and both sets of officials confirmed the document exists. Go figure. That is not actually a failed negotiation. A failed negotiation means there's no piece of paper and lots of bombs in all cases. But what these officials described is a document that exists, and a document that both parties acknowledge, with the language each side is spinning to its domestic audience in whatever way keeps those politicians alive. So Tehran needs to go home and tell its parliament it gave up nothing to the satans of the West. Trump needs to go home and tell his base that Iran capitulated. The document is written to let both things happen at the same time. That is what a negotiation looks like when both sides actually want a deal and neither side can say so publicly. They have to save face. And look at the tale inside Trump's own language. On Sunday, Trump posted, "I have informed my representatives not to rush into a deal. In that time is on our side." So whoever has time on his side, in this case Trump, as he says, that is a man who knows he is winning and wants his opponent to feel it. Now the second point, the squeeze is still on. So while Trump was announcing the blockade is lifting, the blockade count went from 109 vessels redirected to 115 in 72 hours. CENTCOM struck 2 Iranian fast attack boats near Bandar Abbas on Monday, the first hot military action since the April 8 ceasefire. Iranian state media claimed Iran shot down a U.S. aircraft. CENTCOM responded within hours that no U.S. aircraft was shot down. All U.S. air assets are accounted for. So meanwhile, Iran launched a ballistic missile toward Kuwait on May 27, which Kuwaiti forces intercepted. 5 Iranian drones posed a threat near the strait as well. All intercepted as well. So CENTCOM prevented a 6th one from even launching. So the public announcement says the blockade is lifting. The real world situation says 20 plus U.S. warships are still in the Arabian Sea, turning ships around, smashing fast boats, and swatting down missile launches. So you tell me, when you have the reports and you have the reality, the anecdotes, usually the anecdotes have more weight. So the announcement is like a price tag. Okay? The blockade that is happening is the leverage that makes that price tag actually stick. So if you want to understand why Tehran has very limited room to keep saying no, here's the number that matters more than any of the military ones. American gas averaged $4.51 per gallon over Memorial Day weekend, more than 50% higher than the start of this conflict. U.S. consumer sentiment just hit its lowest recorded level. Trump needs a deal that lowers that pump price before midterms make it his problem. So Trump knows this, and Tehran knows Trump knows it, which is why Trump also posted this. It will only be a greater deal for all or no deal at all. Back to the battlefront and shooting, but bigger and stronger than ever before. Again, well, Trump has the weapons, the guns, the rockets, everything to back up that affirmation. So that is not a man who is losing the argument. That is a guy holding all the cards and the bombs and telling you exactly what he will do if you fold the wrong way. This is basically a long game. But we have a third point. The big thing that most people is ignoring and who is left out of this setup. The proposed framework per reporting covers a 60-day ceasefire, Hormuz reopening, mines cleared, blockade lifted, some Iranian assets unfrozen, Iran selling oil again, 30 days of nuclear talks. But what it does not cover is Iran's ballistic missile program and Tehran's funding for regional armed groups. So, Senators Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, Roger Wicker, and Tom Cotton all came out publicly against it. Mike Pompeo criticized the framework. The White House communications director responded by telling Pompeo to, quote, shut his stupid mouth. So that tells you exactly how the inner circle reads the opposition. Not as a check on battle strategy, but as noise from people who were not in the room and do not understand what was traded. And yeah, it's basically nobody knows that at this point. And meanwhile, on the same day this was all playing out, the Iranian delegation landed in Doha for talks. So the team includes Iran's chief negotiator, the parliament speaker, the foreign minister, and the central bank governor. So, look at that. You do not send your top money guy to a meeting you intend to walk out of. That is important. You bring the banker. The thing is for real. And here's the dot that the Iran coverage almost entirely missed. On Sunday, Trump named 8 Muslim heads of the state by name and ordered them to sign a treaty with Israel. Trump included the Emir of Qatar. Trump included MBS. I just made a video about that. Trump even extended an invitation to Tehran to join the Abraham Accords. Yeah, that was a thing. And then he joked that it would be something special if that happened. Yeah, that would be indeed something special. So the leaders went silent on the call. MBS basically said no, by the way. And Trump asked if they were still there. Are you still there? Hello? But that silence is not confusion. That is the sound of 8 heads of the state doing the math in real time. Here are the stakes. The next watch point is the Doha talks. The central bank governor being in that delegation is the main signal worth tracking. If the currency and oil revenue clauses move, the rest of the deal follows. Brent crude is already near $98 on deal optimism. If Hormuz reopens even partially, that number drops fast and gas prices follow. Well, it's I have to wait a few months for those prices to catch up. The economic clock on both sides is ticking, and Trump has made clear he's not the one in a hurry. If you want my deeper analysis on geopolitics and the behavior of the people who run the world, go check my blog, thepowerpundit.com. I can say things there that I prefer that not to say anywhere else. Link in the description, and share this video with your family and friends so they know what's really going on. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.